Hi, everyone. It's Professor Hall, and we are in week 11 of Women's Memoir. So, we are starting Susanna Kaysen's book, Girl Interrupted. Now, I want to say, and I said this in the lecture for this week as well, but just as a note here, as a tip for reading, Susanna Kaysen's memoir is a little bit fragmentary. She's telling things kind of as they come to her, not necessarily in like one, two, three, four chronological order. This is a book that depicts her time in a psychiatric facility. And so, because of that, I think a lot of the book kind of reflects where her mind was at the time that she was writing. So, some of the things that I'd like you to notice first is that this also takes place in the 1960s, around the same time as Diane Lake's memoir. So, it's interesting that Diane Lake was really a part of a lot of movements in terms of the hippie movement and the Haight-Ashbury scene and, all the things that her parents were into. In comparison, the title of this book really represents the fact that Susanna Kaysen's life was kind of on hold or on pause during this time. So she and her friends in the ward are kind of watching some of these events on TV play out, but they're not able to fully participate in life. So they're missing out on things like the the full counterculture revolution. They're missing out on the civil rights movement, the beginnings of the women's movement that's going to come a little bit later in the 70s, and all of that kind of thing. But a lot of people really relate to this book, and that's one of the reasons that I picked it. The other reason I picked it was to give you guys a little bit of a break. It's not as long as our last couple of books have been, and so because of the shorter format, I think you can get through it pretty quickly. But look and see how she describes kind of trying to come of age and having that be interrupted, possibly by a mental illness, and also then by the way that she's treated by people in the ward. She also talks a lot in this first section about how she got to be in the hospital, and how she remembers talking to the doctor and being kind of stereotyped based on some of her qualities, including things like being sexually active with her boyfriend and wearing shorter skirts and being a little bit outspoken. So she's kind of questioning her own memories, but also again, the gender norms and the stereotypes and things about women's sexuality that would have been typical at that time. So I hope that you enjoy the first half of this book. And if you have any questions or thoughts or concerns, just let me know. Thanks.